We can see ourselves.
How did you do it that way?
Because I'm so tech savvy.
Wow.
Tech savvy.
That is nice. Well, hello. Happy Friday, everybody.
Good morning and happy Friday, everybody.
Outside.
It is a little chilly outside, and right now I'm not doing things very efficient at my house. Ryan was all hot and said, can we please turn on the air conditioning? So we turn on the air conditioning, but of course the heat's on still downstairs, so we're just battling our system. So I just remembered that. Shoot. I'm going to have to call the kids and have them switch the thermostats.
So
how's your week?
My week, I'm tired. I am straight up tired. Well, so here's the other thing is I still am not like back on track since vacation. Like I'm still playing catch up, and fortunately for my clients, they come first, and my house does not. My house is a disaster right now.
Right.
Just like laundry, grocery shop, like the timing, it's a lot. And I was trying to be really good. They, as real estate agents, you work always on. And I was like, no, I'm going to be really good. I'm going to get my stuff together at my house. So I was like, Wednesday afternoon, that's what I'm doing. We have a lot of yard weeding to do, stuff like that. And I was really excited that I was putting my foot down. It rained all day Wednesday. So I still have not done my yard weeding.
Meant to be at that point.
It is not meant to be.
Now, I will say it's been a good week. So on a personal note, cheers to my baby. He made the varsity soccer team.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Yes, so Ryan Barrett, one of a couple of sophomores that made it onto the Fairfax High School team's varsity team. So he is just genuinely ecstatic about the whole thing. So that's very cool. And then on a professional notes, etc., we ratified that beautiful townhouse over in Burke and had 25 offers. So that was just beyond exciting for not only my seller, but gosh, the winner of the contract was just over the moon, and I just can't wait to get to closing. So that's exciting
this week.
I know. Congratulations.
Thanks. And I have 2 next week.
Yes.
Things are moving along.
Yeah, Michael Tran closed on his in Gallows, and we got another one on Monday. The beautiful one over on Rapid Run closes on Monday, so that's good. So lots of stuff happening as far as our listings go, so keep looking at FocusOnNova.com and the social media to see what's coming up there, because that's exciting. So what's happening this week in Fairfax area?
In Fairfax, there's a lot going on. There is, I know, so we're going to sound like a broken record over the next couple weeks, but it's a good reason, because just more and more stuff is opening.
Yeah.
So we are going to be going over that. Not only like reopening, but there's all the some of the new places are opening.
New things. People are taking advantage and opening up.
They are. So I'm going to just kind of run through the list of the things that I found that are opening up either this weekend, have just opened, or about to open this month. So one of them is Icon Theater. So just like Cinema Theater is opening on April 23rd over at the Borough.
Where's that?
So right in Tyson's.
That's right. They call it the Borough.
The Borough, yep. So that is opening up. The other thing that is opening is the Freshman, which is a cocktail to coffee, or coffee to cocktail.
Depends on how you want to do that.
I was going to say.
You're in Key West. It might be cocktail to coffee.
Maybe we'll start it that way. Yes. So the Freshman, that's opening over in National Landing. So that's one of the first places that's like the new from the Amazon HQ to it. No, it is not from them, but in the complex.
It is a result of the rehab, etc.
Correct. It's in the complex. The other thing that is opening up is Cathal Armstrong. So he of former Restaurant Eve and Eamon's over in Alexandria. He's opening a new place in Pentagon City called Maddie and Eddie's, and it's like an Irish fair place. So that's gonna. Restaurant Eve, always one of the top like restaurants in the area. So obviously that shut down a little bit, but he has this new one, Maddie's and Eddie's.
I may have to check that out.
Yeah. So those are some of the new places that are opening. Some of the reopenings. Kennedy Center is reopening, and curtains open October 13th. And they're bringing back Hamilton,
which I need to get tickets for.
I saw it when it
I
was
did not.
however many years ago. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the Disney release online.
Right.
I mean, the streamed one, and was just blown away to the point that like my kids came home halfway through it. I was like, leave me alone,
Right.
you know. And
Right.
it's phenomenal. So I can't wait to see it live.
Yes, it was great. I mean, live theater is just so
It's one
much
of my
better.
favorite things, and I need to. It's like a goal for me that when I'm done with cheering my kids on, that I can go do that
Yeah.
because it's just time, and I want to spend the money to do it. It's an experience I enjoy.
And you know what? In this area, there are so
many venues.
So many in this area.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's the other thing that I have. Also returning this year, I feel kind of bad because the whole thing, they're trying to keep it like a little bit on the down low, and now everyone's talking about it. Viva Vienna is actually going to happen this year. So
Why
Memorial
are they
Day
keeping
weekend.
it on the down low? They just don't want the crowd.
They don't want the crowds because there is going to be like crowd restrictions and stuff. They're trying to keep it a little bit hush hush because they want it to be, it's Vienna, so they want to really focus it on the people that live in Vienna and stuff.
That's fair.
But
We'll see.
it's happening.
It's fun nonetheless. You know what? Katrina's husband plays as one of the bands at Viva Vienna usually. So we should
I
do.
didn't know that.
Yeah, second chance
Yeah.
or fat chance.
Fat chance.
Fat chance.
Fat chance. Yep.
Fat chance.
So yeah, so those are some of the new openings. Another thing that's new that is really exciting, could be great, could hear a lot of fun stories about it later on, is over at the wharf. You can now rent an 18-foot picnic boat.
What is that?
So think of like a paddle boat, how you can go rent paddle boats.
Yeah.
But it's literally like this
picnic
big
table on a
boat where
boat?
you can, yes. It's, well,
How does one drive? I feel like, oh my god, I'm so out of shape that I would get that, eat lunch, and be like, I'm gonna barf after I paddle myself back.
So it's a longer boat to where you can sit, but this thing is like tricked out. So it has Bluetooth speakers, it has a cooler, it has some blankets, and it does come with life vests. You do have to be 21 or older to operate it.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can just, go, and it's just, it's a longer boat, and you can just go and sit, and you have to bring your own food, and you can rent it and just kind of paddle out in the water. And
Doing around. That might be fun to do.
I know. So I thought that was really kind of cool. So
Definitely.
That's over at the wharf.
Definitely.
And then some newsy stuff that is happening. Newsy stuff. April 17th, over in Arlington, there's the big debate, public hearing stuff about the Feebury-Lothrop property.
Mm-hmm.
It's 9 acres. People wanted it designated as a historical house. However, the developers who have purchased it, that's long and gone. In March, They took the house down, but they're still trying to have the land set as like historic property, historic preservation. It's, like I said, it's about 9 acres. And so April 17th, the Arlington County Board is holding a public hearing.
That's a tough battle with all of the premium and all of that.
It
That's going
is.
on. I feel like it's going to be designated to a historical plaque or something along those lines.
Yeah. So that
Get
is
out.
some of the news stuff. The other news thing is, so there's been this ongoing discussion, debate about the 495. I believe the project is called 495 Next.
Yeah.
So it's about extending toll lanes and everything, just expanding 495 on the western side. Well, depending on which way you're looking. But no, always western.
It's always west.
Always
west
western.
is always in the west.
Well, no, I was thinking just because of
I know where
when
we
people
are.
because it's a circle. So when you get on, which way do you go?
Right.
So it's over going from Dulles Toll Road to the American Legion Bridge. Just the other day, Fairfax County, went forward with, yes, we are moving forward. This needs to happen. But, there's still the whole question of, well, what is Maryland doing? Because parties have to be on board to get it done at the same time, or else you're just going to have a bottleneck.
Right.
So, but Fairfax County on the 13th at their meeting came out and they were like, yes,
This is a priority.
yes, we need to get this done.
That's good because when they did the hot lanes initially going from PG into Fairfax County, that was a game changer. At the time I was working at the infectious disease practice, and my coworker Cindy, she was in PG and she made the commute. It cut her commute from 45 minutes to 20.
Right.
to get across the bridge, and it was
Right.
just imperative. So I'm hoping that both jurisdictions see the value and will make that happen for their respective residents.
Right.
I took a call last week from a buyer. It's the same thing. He's going to be serving Arlington, Baltimore, and she's going to be serving Alexandria, working in Alexandria, and it's the same deal. They're going to have to go over the bridge, and
Right.
hopefully everybody will play nice.
Right. Yes, we'll see. And I mean, I do both of us being Northern Virginia natives, like I understand the debate about toll roads in general, but and I honestly don't know where I fall on it. So some days I'm really happy they're there, especially when I'm running late.
95 southbound Fredericksburg, I'm happy.
Right, but other days I'm annoyed because I'm like, I've already paid for this road. But anyway, regardless. So other last bit of news that I have is Fairfax County. Throughout the vaccination process, they have actually not been part of the state plan. They've done their own thing. They have just announced that starting with phase 2, Fairfax County themselves are not going to be doing the appointments. Don't freak out right now because anybody who is in their system currently, so you have either gotten your first shot or you have signed up to get your appointment.
Thursday, finally!
Or even if you're on the wait list, you will still go through their system and get that process done. However, once phase 2 starts to take place, which is April 18th,
Monday.
They are going through, I don't know what day of the week it is.
Sunday. Today's the 16th.
They are moving over to a different platform called Vaccine Finder. So the reason they're doing this is because they want to make it easier for people to have more of a choice for when they where they get their vaccine. I don't know if people are getting to choose their vaccine.
I doubt that.
I would doubt that as well. But just know that if you are going into phase 2, you haven't gone into their system yet, you will be using something called a Vaccine Finder, which we will be doing as well because our oldest is over 16. So and then Ryan too.
As well.
So I guess we'll be doing that.
That's something that's new. I don't know if you saw that email that came out from Fairfax County Public Schools, but they changed the vaccine. They changed the vaccine requirements. It's not so much for this year, but it is going forward. I mean, to include hepatitis A, meningococcal, all kinds of stuff. So there are all kinds of new things. So if you have school-age children in Fairfax County, go back and look for that because if you've scheduled, because my whole thing was literally I just took the 14-year-old to the doctor last month for his kid checkup, and he could have had anything that he was deficient on. That said, I was like, God, now I'm going to have to make another appointment. So they know that they're going to be taxing many of the parents to get this stuff done, but I do believe we have a full year. So just be aware that the vaccine schedule for required vaccines for children entering schools has changed, and that you are going to need to get that done for admission to public schools at this point. So, interesting.
I know. Yeah, I was looking through it because I was curious if they were going to be requiring the vaccine for this.
Me too. Okay.
But they're not. At least as of now. So, let me see. So I think that's kind of all the news I have today.
You're quite the newsie. I've been busy, down in the grid and didn't get into that too much there. But we had a lot going on this week, as we alluded to, between closings and buyers ratifying and contracts happening. Lynn, you crushed it on this article, and as local residents, I am so excited about what's coming. I'm also a little sad, nostalgic. I mean, you have to realize that, back when I was a mall rat, back in the 80s and 90s, Fair Oaks Mall was where it was at. That said, it's not so much anymore, and it needs to be renovated. So this was a great article that you put together.
Yeah, there's a lot of forward thinking that is going on. There's no timeline. There's nothing happening right now. It's part of the plan. I mean, I shouldn't say there's nothing happening right now.
It's a comprehensive plan for the area, and they are trying to do what's best for its residents and housing and everything else like that. Right.
One thing that they did do, so I would say kind of the biggest change that is a more recent change that has come about, which happened just this winter time, was the staff of the county. It used to be going forward that a lot of this was planned with Metro in mind, coming out to that area. That is still the plan. However, what they have done is they have pulled out that as a requirement, well, not a requirement, but as a linchpin to getting everything started. They have decoupled, is what they're calling it. They've decoupled the metro from that whole development plan because the metro is not going to sustain this. So it's not something where development has to happen of the metro for something to work for this area. So they have decoupled that. And then I guess the newest thing is a lot of it, what they're planning on is there's going to be a big commuter lot over by the government center, and not even a lot. It's like an 820 space parking garage.
They've got the lot right now. They needed the garage because there's more demand. Yeah.
Right, and that is all falling in line with the I-66 updates and widening, which is supposed to be finished 2022. So there's a lot moving on, but we're looking at, I mean, like I said last week, and I heard my husband even telling one of his coworkers, he's like, we're never moving. Because once this comes, I mean, it's going to be a game changer for that one little area.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and it's not a little area.
No, and that's the whole thing. It's like Fair Lakes is enormous. It was kind of like the last big build out,
right?
In our area where there was a huge chunk of land that could be done. So, long story short, it's just going to be a wonderful enhancement to Fairfax Corner, Fairfax Town Center, and then
the government center. The fact that
it's just going to be great. So, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
And then this is a cutie patootie little place we talked about.
Yes, over in the Oakton area, which is right next to a metro already. So we looked at a $370,000 condo. It is 2 bedrooms, but it's a 2-level condo. Not townhome condo, but 2-level condo.
It's just a 2-level condo.
Great location, right in Oakton. You could less than a mile from the Vienna Metro, and it is in Trevor House. So we took a look at that and what those numbers break down to.
Yeah. I had fun with this one. So I actually on Wednesday.
I need to do this.
Yeah, you guys need to do this. So
yard.
I kind of geeked out. So my husband Eric loves to have a garden. This year he's not doing it because the brewery is too much time. But that said, we were going to do a big spread on how to do your garden, and it's just too much. So when I got super into the weeds on this one, see what I did there? But when I started going into it, it was really kind of fun. So we just put this one out yesterday, and it's all about an early spring garden. So we're talking about what plants do well right now. So yes, you didn't do it from seed, but you can go out to Merrifield Garden Center, Meadow Center, whatever nursery, Home Depot, Lowe's you've got. But your cabbages, your kales, your collard greens, all of those super hardy, wonderful, rich antioxidant veggies that are just delicious.
All the ones your kids don't want to eat.
My kids my kids love themselves some collard greens. Like I will do it up, and they will eat it. And I found a smoked salt. Which give it all like if you're vegetarian, which you are, then you can do that without all the pork and grease, which again is part of the fun of it. But anyhow, I digress. So the point is, check this out because it was really great information that I got from Merrifield Garden Center. I referenced the pamphlets that they have that they give for free at their information desk. But we get into harvesting all those greens I was talking about, and then we get into less sexy but super savory vegetables like your onions and your shallots and your green onions and chives. And I mean, I basically grow I grow a guacamole garden essentially. So I've got the chives, I've got the cilantro. I do get into herbs, and they have a wonderful pamphlet as well on how you can preserve your herbs that you're growing. So I grow herbs all summer long, and then I do harvest them, dry them, and then use them throughout the winter as well. So great article. Check out if I do say so myself, a great article. Check that out on planting for spring. And then this coming week, we have a whole bunch of stuff. Maura's pulled together the market update. Interestingly enough, and I think that this is true both statistically last week over this week, and then also just anecdotally from our team, the number of listings finally coming onto the market finally outpaced the number of contracts going under contract. So in other words, yes, we may have had 25 offers on Mason Bluff, and we may have had 8 offers on the one before that, and of the 2 offers that were ratified last week for purchasers, there was 2 on one listing and 4 on another. So point is, we are still in multiple offers. We're not really slowing down, but it's really nice to see that sellers are starting to release some of the inventory and take advantage of these higher prices, which ultimately, fingers crossed, will help alleviate some of the demand that's out there. I can say too that even though quote it outpaced what the number of contracts that went under last week, it was still the ones that came on market half of what was out there last year.
It's still a seller's market, but
yeah.
it is nice to see. I mean, I think it's not like a full for buyers.
No.
More's coming on,
but there's
but
light.
It's you're getting somewhat of a chance,
right?
And it is nice to see that. We were just looking at for buyers, and I saw the same thing with pulling stuff, just how many coming soons there are.
It's refreshing
it's really
to be
nice
able to say, look, I'll show you 5 properties this weekend instead of, hey, there's one, let's go. So we're in a very different place. And then from a listing standpoint, I mean, the phone was ringing off the hook this week. We probably had 4 or 5 different listing appointments. So it's happening. It's out there. It's not going anywhere. Check out the market update so you can understand where we've been so we can now navigate where we're going.
Yep.
What you get for this is the condo that I sold this past I guess it was March, and we closed yesterday. So congrats to our seller in California. Another great example of how we can service our folks and never actually see the whites of their eyes.
I have 2 clients I'm working with, 3 clients I'm working with right now, where everything's virtual.
Done virtual, the whole thing. I coordinated with his tenant. We got it ready. We virtually staged it. No, that's not actual furniture, folks. But yeah, great success story. And then as far as the point of this, at $355, you can actually compare what you can get in Oakton versus here for roughly the same price point. So check that out.
And this was right over by the Dunloring Metro.
Yeah, this is literally across the street from Dunloring Metro. So it's right there. Great location near Lost Eye Cafe too. All right, first time home buyers, what you guys need to know, super important information. Yes. Watch it, start it, and then join us on one of our seminars if you're trying to get into the market. This is a great place to start. We actually have a ton of videos like this that will help you understand what you're getting into. So if you're one of those that researches and then engages, hit the YouTube channel, get on our top 3 takeaways, and check it out. Do some research and get to know us a little bit before you actually have to reach out. You don't have to. We're happy to get to know you prior.
Right.
This is a very soft way to get into it, so check it out.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Upcoming events. So we have our Saturday seminar. I will be hosting those this weekend. So we have the seller seminar at 9 o'clock and the buyer seminar at 10:30. So if you have questions, regardless of when you are thinking of either putting your house on the market or when you're thinking of buying, it's never too early to educate yourself on the process, to understand what the process is about. We do try to tailor them and answer everybody's questions to get it as specific as possible, to make sure that you guys are getting the most information as possible that you need. So join me this Saturday on, you can go to focusonnova.com/events and register, because you do need to register for that.
Yeah, and it's done by Zoom, so there's lots of good opportunities to share screens and answer questions and get things done.
Yeah.
So with that said, things to do this weekend. I know what I'm doing this weekend.
What are you doing?
It's very exciting. We, in an effort to get people away from the Colchester Bridge, formerly known as the Bunnyman Bridge, we are doing a public service act with the brewery, Bunnyman Brewery. So the owners, myself and Eric and Sam and Becky and our kids, are going to be donning fluorescent street vests and walking up and down Colchester Road collecting trash because we have adopted a highway.
Nice.
So I'll be a trash man on. Trash person on Saturday morning.
Fun. I will be hosting the Saturday seminars. So other things that you can do this weekend, Arlington Cinema Draft House is back open for in-person stuff, and they will be hosting a 1-hour comedy show of Neil Nanda. He has... he's coming out and doing his show prior to, he's going to be filming like a 1-hour comedy special, and this is a show prior to him doing that. April 17th, Caboose Commons is hosting a Springfest beer tasting where they are showcasing 14 different beers, so you can check that out. That's Caboose Commons. And then Alexandria Drive-In is open So they have reopened. They are back in it because of all the success from last year. They are open on Friday and Saturdays. They host the different movies. Food trucks are going to be there. It's $40 per car. And this week on Friday, you can see Trolls, and Saturday you can watch Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, I kind of want to go do that. That might have to happen. I'm a
That's
nerd.
Saturday night. So go pick up your trash.
I know. Got to pick up my trash. I think something's happening Saturday night. Anyways, point is,
Yeah.
y'all
That's
have
what's
a
happening.
y'all have a great week now here. But all right, everybody have a great week. If you have any real estate questions, give us a call. Have questions about anything you heard about, comment below. We'll be happy to reach out to you. I'm Tracy.
And I'm Lynn.
Happy weekend.
Bye, guys.
Bye.